Hello, Leo. This one's for you. It's from Tarot Lumination. Yours truly, that's you, Leo. And it is your July 2019 report. Okay? If you've been here before, you know the routine. If you just want to fast forward to the cards, just go for it. But I have to do all this other stuff anyway, so I'm just going to do it, okay? Cards are already well shuffled in advance, as you know, but I like to go to the very last second so that you. Okay, crazy neighbors, so that you're a witness, all right? Let me just double check something. Yeah, it's crazy neighbors. Sorry about that. All right, so cards are well shuffled in advance, okay? But I go to the last second so there are a witness, and I don't do any jumpers or flyers or reversals. But we are going to do a little oracle at the end. You will see. Okay, if this is your first time here, just chill, enjoy, relax. If you've been here before, you know the routine. Invite your invisible friends. Surround yourself in a blanket of love, okay? You deserve it, Leo. We'll come back here in a moment. This is a very kind of big deal month for everybody, including Leos, but it's different for everybody, okay? It's all about the eclipses this month. I'm going to show you in just a moment. Let me do this thing first. These are just my notes for the month. It's just calendar moments, okay? Nothing fancy. I'm focusing on the yellow stuff. The new moon eclipse in Cancer, okay? It's a big stellium of planets, all right? Around the 2nd, okay? All this other stuff, and then the full moon eclipse around the 16th. More stuff, more stuff. Basically, the other big thing is 5 planets retrograde for most of the month. So that's a lot of retrograde energy, which is all about repurposing, reconfiguring, reconditioning, remodeling, even rejoicing, reconstructing, reappraising, a good chance to fix things that are not working, a good chance to identify things that aren't working so that we can find a way to fix them. And guess what, Leos, for you, that's kind of what it's all about this month, because it's sitting on your 12th house, 6th house axis, which from my perspective is very much to do with health and healing and revealing it to heal it, and then figuring out how we're going to actually heal it. Okay, like practical habits about how to take care of yourself properly better than you've ever done before. So it's a really, to me, this is a very awkward eclipse because it's happening in your 12th house, okay? The house of self-undoing, self-sabotage. It's like the spiritual dumpster. It's the house of divine awareness as well, and that's great. But what might be happening for you, Leo, in July is that it might be a very kind of, it can be a bit of a downer feeling when planets go through your 12th house, because it brings you an awareness of like all the things that didn't work, can't work, never could have worked, never will work, and that you just buried them in the kitchen drawer or your psycho-spiritual dumpster and hoping they would just go away. But really all they do is just sit there and fester. And so with Tarot Lumination, you know, ways that we do things, we have to reveal it to heal it. So hopefully you can see this eclipse as a way to reveal some very, very sensitive, deeply buried issues, that it's about time they get revealed in order that they can be healed. And the healing becomes a practical 3-dimensional task, refining, clarifying, cleansing, purifying, like a cleanup, like a big cleanup campaign, and improving your health habits, okay? Anyway, here we are. The new moon eclipse over here, July 22nd, okay? And the full moon eclipse around July 16th, okay? Now, none of this directly impacts love and relationship because that's all over here and over here, but it does impact you in a very profound way. Also, by the way, at the end of the month, July 22nd, Sun enters Leo. So you might take a deep breath and go, wow, I made it another year. So you can start all over again, but that's the August reports, okay? I need to do a little demo because I've done it for everybody else. I'm going to do it for you. With these eclipses, okay, it's about evolutionary gateways. And what I mean by that is you come in one way, you evolve, and you come out the other way, and there's no going back. So I look at it as an elevator of evolution. Okay, bear with me. Let me show you. It's the same demo I did for everybody else. You know the routine, watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different, okay? And then reinterpret everything to suit yourself. But let's do the little demo here. There's you, Leo, living your life, okay? And right in front of you is this eclipse. It's basically like a big elevator door. It opens up and you walk in because you don't have a choice. Like, okay. And then the door's shut. Oh no. And then it goes up. Oh, what's happening? Oh, whoa, whoa. And then it stops, the full moon eclipse, and you come out the other side. Oh, like, whew, okay, whew. Now the door's open, but it's only this door because it's a double-sided door elevator. Ha ha ha. Have you ever been in one of those? So you come out this side, okay? You see what I'm doing here? In, evolve, out. No going back. So that's happening with you on your, what that would be for you, your 12th house, 6th house axis, okay? So it's a tough one. It might be very deep, subtle, and very uncomfortable, okay? It's going to happen, okay? Just here's a way you can soothe yourself. Just remember that everyone else is going through their own version of the eclipses too. Ha, 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 ha. All right, let's get back to work. All right, Leo, let's just get on with it, okay? Enough of this stuff. Okay, so you know what to do if you've been here before. Gather your invisible friends. Surround yourself with archangels, angels, your loved ones from the beyond, your guides, your guardians, all of it, okay? And let's make the best of it. Cards are well shuffled in advance. Like I said, you go to the last second so that you're a witness. Look at that one. Wow. No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals. Sorry about that. We're going to use the Tarot Lumination Crucible spread. You know the routine. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Okay. Also, remember this is not a couples reading. It's all about you, Leo, but we're going to allow for your co-star. Also, singles, if you really want, you can watch this, but you have to allow for the laws of attraction. And what are you attracting to you? What is the potential, like the big what if? We're going to use the Tarot Lumination Crucible spread. You'll see it in a moment. It's on the understanding that there's you, Leo, a significant other, and a third entity called the relationship itself. Okay, it's a living, breathing thing, like a potted plant. The crucible is actually, oh, well, let's just do it. Okay. Think of yourself like a smartphone, okay? What are you transmitting? What are you receiving? Okay, you are a transceiver, including in love and relationship, possibly more in love and relationship than anything else. Are you aware? Over here, what about the significant other? Okay, over here, deep down inside of you, deep down inside of the other, and to the core of the relationship. Okay, so can you see the crucible structure here? That's what it is. It's a bowl. It's designed to contain the relationship. This is the thing in which you guys live, whether you like it or know it or not. This is a living, breathing thing. There's you, there's the other, there's the relationship, okay? And in astrology, we work with this very, very closely, okay? So what are you doing with this thing, Leo? Okay? And what are you growing here? Okay, over here, you guys are swimming in this thing. It's environmental energy, the soup of life, the influence of the planets, circumstantial, you know, conditions, whatever that might be, your culture, your neighborhood, your expectations of life in the world, the family that you want, or the expectations that everyone else has of you from your parents and so on. All those things. I think of the weather. I'm just going to go for the planets, okay? Two of Cups. Look at that. How sweet is that? So my feeling here is to me, this feels like a very, very profound, very, very gentle, very huggy message from the heavens to let you know, dear Leo, that you are deeply loved some way, somehow, by somebody, somewhere, okay? Now, it may not be the love in terms of how you would think it should be or how you would how your ego wants it to be, but it's love nevertheless, okay? And this is very, very pure. It's very, very simple, and you can't stop it. It potentially is very fragile. You could just throw this away if you wanted to, but it's still love, okay? And also it's a reminder to come from love and nothing else. Okay, especially if you feel you're under a lot of pressure because of the eclipses and things that really are very hard to figure out and understand with that 12th house energy on that chart I showed you. Okay, all this stuff over here, the house of self-undoing, new starts and new beginnings, where you might get shocking awakenings of how you can be your own worst enemy, and at the same time how you can turn this into being your own best friend. Okay, love and be loved. Okay, make that your priority. Love thyself, own the love, then be loving, and then be loved. It's very pure, it's very simple. Doesn't mean it's easy. Okay, what are you radiating here? Look at that. Awesome energy. Male, female, if there's a guy watching this, don't worry about the gender. Just recognize this as your own awesomeness. I think this is, again, to me, it feels like there's a part of you which is realizing, it's almost like, wow, Tarot Lumination, I have to tell you in private, I can't believe I've come this far and done so well under so much pressure. Remember all the Leo Aquarius stuff that we had to deal with over the last few years? I know it's changed now and we're on the Cancer Capricorn axis, but wow, I can't believe I do that. Look how awesome I am. I am just more amazing than ever before. I feel that thing bubbling up inside of me. I am so looking forward to the Leo stuff next month when the sun goes into Leo and I can be more awesome than ever before. My true self, my creativity, my self-expression, my abundance, my ability to radiate literally like radiate creativity. To me, this feels like it's bubbling under, it's simmering under, and it's, like ready to come to the surface. Like your time to shine is coming and you know it. All right, over here, what are they radiating? So with the Knight of Swords, there's a part of me feels like they're off on a completely different tangent about their own trip. Okay? And let me just point something out here, because there's not a lot of emphasis directly on the seventh house. A little bit over here on the fifth house with true love and romance. You've got Jupiter over here, retrograde in Sagittarius, your fifth house of true love. So there might be like secondary ripples deeper down under here going on with romance and creativity and perhaps how to create love and romance and rekindle love and romance in some way, shape, or form. And Jupiter is going retrograde there, saying to, hey, you Leo, listen, what are we going to do about true love in here? Because you are a Leo and you like to have fun. You like to be happy. Okay. So what's going on over here? How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to fix that? And then there's someone else over here. It's just like, excuse me, wait a minute. I have my own agenda. Okay. I have my ideas about what should work and how it should work and how we're going to do this. And excuse me if you don't mind, I would like to insert myself into the conversation so that it isn't just all about you, Leo, and your most awesome self. Okay? Remember, this is not a couple's reading. It's all about you, but we're allowing for your co-star. And the Knight of Swords, my feeling is that this is going to be very hard for me to describe. My feeling is that they're coming in from a very egoic perspective, okay? All about them and what they want for themselves and how they need what they need and what they want. And they can't help it because that's just them being who they are. And yet at the same time, that's actually quite valuable for you as we go through the eclipses so that you can learn about like very secret, deep, hidden dynamics that occur in love and relationship that you would not have ever understood or even known existed without them being who they are and the way they behave about what they want, what they need for themselves right now. Because the thing is, in a relationship dynamic, I think there's a deeper level where, like, you need to know this stuff, Leo, and like maybe you don't enjoy this kind of energy coming at you, but to me, it feels like it's actually very beneficial. And then you can sit here in your awesomeness and go, okay, okay, I'm listening to you. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening. I hear you. I hear you. Uh, I understand your issues. I understand your problems. It's just, it's okay. And they're like, well, you have no idea of how stressful it can be in a relationship with you. Okay. Do you have any idea of how much stress I have to handle on my own? Let me tell you. I'm doing everything I can to be the most awesome person I can be for you and love in the relationship. And then you're like, I understand. I understand. Okay, take a breath. Okay. And they're like, "Oh, okay, all right." And you remind them gently, we are coming from love here. This is a Tarot Lumination love and relationship reading. Let's get back to the core essentials, okay, if you don't mind. And they're like, okay, all right, okay, okay, okay. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Okay. So with the Seven of Swords here, my to me it feels like you have to be very careful of yourself, okay, because of this 12th house energy. About you might discover in very, very deep, subtle ways, or perhaps sometimes very unsubtle ways, about how you have, like, inadvertently or accidentally become your own worst enemy by allowing certain types of behaviors and activities and circumstances to occur in love and relationship that are not really beneficial for you. It's just that you thought, like, well, I'm generous, I'm a Leo, I love to be happy, I'll give you a break, okay? And I'm just going to go and be me. But it's not allowed, okay? You have to still be your most awesome self. And let's just admit, like, okay, with the Seven Swords here, it's just like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had to be so ruthless about this self-love thing that Tarot Illumination keeps talking about on the channel. And then you're like, let's just say you're already working on it. Like, I do my stuff, I do my self-healing, I do my meditation, I detach myself from the world, and I'm doing everything I can. And then what's happening here is you realize, like, oh my God, Tarot Illumination, you're saying there's more? You're saying I'm still deluding myself with like very, very deeply buried tricks, habits, patterns of how to fool myself that everything's still okay when it isn't? And is that what you're telling me, Tarot Illumination? And Tarot Illumination sadly has to say, yep, please don't kill the messenger. I'm just a tarot channel trying to help you, okay? And then over here, it's just like, seriously? I didn't need to hear that. I don't want to hear that. But it's happening anyway. And Tarot Illumination has to deliver the message. So my feeling is that, let's just say you are really anticipating Leo season coming up, and you're really looking forward to getting back to being you, your most awesome, fertile, creative, generous, radiant, beautiful self, okay? Forget gender. And then as we go through the reading and the eclipses and everything, Tarot Illumination has to do this really awkward thing of like, please understand, dear Leo, you are still vulnerable. You're living through the 12th house stuff right now. We're not in July, in the August Leo season yet. You still have a lot of deeply buried issues that are all to do with self-undoing. And you own those. Those are your problems. And you're allowing things to happen that are not really acceptable or workable or healthy in a loving relationship. And you're still allowing it out of your kindness and generosity simply because of, like, the nice feeling of having, let's say, a relationship. But this is no longer acceptable. I think hold on, give me a moment. This is a really hard reading for me to do. I don't know why this one is, but it is. It feels like you're under a lot of pressure to, like, go deeper than ever before about discovering what is not working and then bringing it to the surface. It's like, oh no. Seriously, Tarot Illumination? When are we going to have a break? When am I going to have a break? When are you going to give me a break, Tarot Illumination? Okay? Because I'm already doing the best I can. I am the most awesome Leo I've ever been. And then Tarot Illumination has to deliver the message like, there's still more. There's still more work to do. There's still deeply buried issues about patterns of self-undoing, okay? And it's very treacherous stuff. It's so easy to come unglued because of that. All right, hold on. So that's what I'm trying to hint at over here. Let's have a look at the other. To me, okay, this is, wow, this makes me feel like what they're trying to do here is almost like, dear Leo, please understand that I mean the best for you, and you might be so, this again, this is, gosh, I wish I, you might be so self-absorbed about how you're going to come through this and what you're going to do and how it's all going to work out for the better in the end, and that's fine. And you already know, Leo, that you're swimming in exactly the right environment and circumstances that you need, loving and being loved, and you're dealing with a loving relationship dynamic, okay? But the significant other is actually missing you. And I think deep down they're sensing like, it's almost like my dear Leo, my dear Leo, please understand that there are issues that I am dealing with as well. And this whole reading isn't all about you, even though it actually is all about you. It's your reading. Well, don't forget me. I have my stuff to deal with too. And maybe you're like really self-absorbed and putting a lot of attention into self-love. But don't forget about me. Don't forget about us. We have this thing to some degree, and to be honest, deep down, although they're not going to talk about this necessarily openly, I really miss the teamwork of us being together, because there are a lot of things that I really can't do in terms of my soul growth and evolution without you. And I would like to remind you, my dear lovely Leo, that there are a lot of things that you can't do in your soul growth and evolution, this evolutionary like eclipse thing, the evolutionary gateway. There's a lot of it you can't handle or do without me. I am part of this. We were like, I'm helping you, you're helping me. I, you're helping me, and I'm helping you. It's a team, okay? And please don't forget that. You know, it's so easy for people to get swept up in their own vortex, and they look at their relationship as an appendage or an accessory to their life, as opposed to this thing that you own, where you have this soul love bond here, okay? Where it's like you're living on a shared journey, okay? So to me, the good news is that, Leo, you're dealing with this really well, and you are prioritizing self, prioritizing love, love thyself. But the deep down, there's still work to do, okay? What about the relationship, okay? Okay, well, luckily to me, with the Nine of Pentacles here, it looks like the relationship is, the actual structure of the relationship is holding up under the pressure, okay? Whatever's going on with you, whatever's going on with the other, the relationship is here saying like, don't worry, don't worry. Like, however contentious things might be over here with a significant other for you, Leo, no matter how much you still might have to learn and understand about going deep, deep, deep within, about deep soul healing, to understand what it really means about sabotage, don't worry. The relationship still has enough structure, identity, and independence to cope on its own, no matter how much turbulence you guys are going through in love and relationship, this way, okay, with each other and as individuals. The relationship is still here, okay? The relationship is strong. It has structure. It has stability. This wouldn't be here unless you guys had already put in some kind of work, some kind of investment, some kind of energy already in order to withstand this, okay? Now, again, if you're singles, think of this as a potential. Like, it's really important to build a relationship that has really good, solid foundations that hold itself together, no matter the turbulence on the surface of relationships. Okay, because things can go up and down on a daily basis, but you want to make sure that you've got like a really solid foundation, so that, as things flare up, You know, it's just like, oh, okay, well, that was a very dramatic day. Should we just go to bed, darling? You know, or should we just take it easy? And then the relationship says, sure, because the relationship is still there, okay? And it's good for you, it's good for them. It's a self-empowering, mutually, like a mutual enhancement type of dynamic that I'm sensing here, okay? The relationship is good for you as an individual, the relationship is good for them as an individual, and the relationship is good itself. In other words, if everyone else was watching you and could watch you like a movie and observe you as like, oh, those people in that relationship, they would probably be envious, thinking like, wow, you've got certain qualities in your relationship that I wish I had. Wow, so cool. Measurable qualities. You've got that, and that. Wow. Over here, what is growing out of this? Okay, something even more substantial. So out of the chaos comes the art. Out of the churning and the grinding comes something good. Okay, it might be a lot of work. I think that like with Pentacles here, it's kind of based on time. Like okay, you know how eclipses tend to have a very long trajectory over months and months and months. So what I'm sensing here now with the Page of Pentacles is that the storyline here is going to unfold over an extended period of time. Okay, like the healing process over here, learning new habits about how to basically take care of yourself even better than you're doing already. Even though you've done a good job to get here already, there's still more work to do in how you can still be your own worst enemy without knowing it. And they're still on board in some way, shape, or another, but it might not be in the structure that you had originally planned or designed, but there's still something there. And so what's happening is the relationship becomes a very fertile ground for you to learn how to heal yourself. It might be very, very painful. What you might be learning about love and relationship might be very, very painful because we're dealing with stuff that's buried so deep, and the eclipse is forcing you into that, like the very bottom of your spiritual psychic dumpster, to find out the deepest, worst problems that are undermining all the potential happiness that you deserve. And then once you get a glimpse of it, like, oh, finally I get how I can fix this stuff in myself. And then you start implementing new lifestyle habits, new changes, new protocols, like, oh, I'm going to do yoga 3 days a week, and then I'm going to start juicing, and then I'm going to start doing meditation and breathing practices, and then I'm going to do some people watching and relaxing, and I'm going to cut down all my self-medicating, and everything's going to get better and better and better. But that stuff takes time and commitment and work. Okay, Saturn is there retrograde, Pluto is there, so it's a very long, slow process. And I think that's what relates here to the Knight of Pentacles, where what's happening is you're being like, okay, let me do this. Hold on, I've got an idea. Bear with me. Okay, we're going to do this again. There's you, the other in the relationship and whatever, living your life you're going through. You get into the elevator and then like you're coming out the other side. It's all based in pentacles with good intentions and goodwill. And then you realize like, wow, this is really, really cool how this stuff works. But the Page of Pentacles, let's go back. Hold on. The Page of Pentacles doesn't rush anything. It's a long-term investment program, just like being a farmer, a multi-generational farmer. What are we going to do now with our assets, talents, and gifts and resources and land? And what are the market conditions like? How are we going to optimize everything? I think that's what's happening here. So I ultimately think it's about healing. I think this report is very much about healing, perhaps through a very, very uncomfortable process of still having to reveal what needs to be healed. And some of it might be very unwelcome, very uncomfortable, like discovering huge amounts of dirty laundry at the very bottom of your basement that's just stinking up everything else. And you thought you'd already done all your laundry. It's just something forgotten from long ago. And then you realize, okay, so I have to clean up all that stuff too. But when you do it and you do the work and the tasks, then you get to that sweet spot. And that's exactly what a farmer would do. And that's what I think is happening in the relationship here. It's an investment, it's a long-term investment, and then you would be appreciated in return, like Pentacles coming back to Pentacles, being loving, being loved, and the evidence shows. Okay, I'm going to pull an oracle now. I hope this makes some sense to you, Leo. Please watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different, okay? And then reinterpret however you want. I know a lot of people like to do that, because a lot of people who come to this channel seem to be really advanced tarot readers themselves anyway. I've never understood that part, but anyway. So just trust the process. I'm going to pull a card for you. This is from the Romance Angels deck. I don't have any other of her other decks. God, that was a real tongue twister. But we're going to do this anyway. It's just a little end note, okay? So no matter what it is, just take it with the best of intentions. There's your card. No ambiguity here, people. Okay. Calling in your soulmate. I need you now. I want you now. Come to me now. Okay, it says here, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Okay, I'm going to read from the little book. And again, you can reinterpret how you want. Each Leo is different. Your situations are different. Older, younger, single, coupled up, trauma, abuse, love, babies, home, family, money, poor, whatever it is. Okay, you have your own story. This is just a generic overview, and I've given you my interpretation like I'm trying to describe a movie to you. Here it is. All right, it says here. Let's just do this properly. Okay, it says here, calling in your soulmate. You, dear Leo, like everyone, have soulmates. These are people with whom you shared time in heaven and in other lives. You made a soul agreement to meet in this lifetime for the purpose of mutual spiritual growth. Hint, hint, the eclipse is happening this month. You have many such agreements with various people who are all your soulmates. They include friends, family members, co-workers, and romantic partners. This card gives you, this card guides you to actively call your romantic soulmate into your life. You can do so through prayer, affirmations, and visualizations. It also means working on yourself so that you epitomize the qualities that you are seeking in a partner. That's really, really important. Play that back again. For instance, if you desire a significant other who's got a great sense of humor, develop this within yourself. Like attracts like in this situation, which is part of calling in your soulmate. Okay? So I hope this helps you, Leo, some way, shape, or form. I hope you can resonate with this. Go back to love. Keep it very, very, very simple. Okay? Simple does not mean it's easy. This is in some ways extremely challenging simply because of the eclipses. Most of the challenge I feel here is having to accept and realize that no matter how awesome you are already, and how much work you've done in your own soul evolution already, there's still more work to do. Okay? Okay? That's all. Okay. Let me just check out with you. Bye-bye, Leo. All the best. If you need anything, check out the links below. Okay? Bye-bye. So there you have it. Take care, Leo.